and Dineen. Two women sitting downstairs on a bus. The bus is crawling along, stuck in heavy traffic. It's raining.
We're not even moving now, are we?
No, there must have been an accident on the flyover again.
It doesn't take much, does it? This rain seems to make traffic even worse.
And I really need to get to that hospital before work.
Me too. I've got an appointment this morning, and this is the only direct bus to get me there.
I'm seeing my nan.
She's been in a good while now, hasn't she?
Yeah, I thought we'd spoken before. Wasn't sure, but your face did look familiar.
Think you're in common. I remember it was packed and the driver slammed on the brakes. I stood on your foot.
Yeah, that's right. Just before Christmas, we both had loads of shopping.
Yeah, and your carrier bag fell apart.
Yeah, it makes me laugh. I don't know why they call it Bag for Life. Reincarnation is my middle name. I've had so many.
I'm getting my veins done. What's your nan in for again?
Well, my mum said it was something to do with her bladder. Although it's been 6 weeks now. Made me late for work so many times. They are getting the right hump at work. But I have to see her. She doesn't seem to be getting much better.
Oh, sorry to hear that. They are a worry, especially when they're getting on. Fingers crossed I should be out later today. Well, if I ever get there and don't catch anything.
Well, that's the thing. She caught some kind of bug. Mum has a mate who works in the office. She sorts out all the transport. She told her in all the years that she's been there, she's never known the wards to be so dirty as they are now.
Oh, here we go. Now what? It's never a good sign when the driver turns off the engine. Well, the hospital I worked in was never dirty. But that was a long time ago. People would presume, quite rightly, that a hospital would be spotless.
So you were a nurse then?
No, I was a cleaner in Barking Hospital, by Hackney Lane. But that was nearly 30 years ago. It's a walk-in centre now.
My sister Laura, she can walk to the hospital from hers, telling me to hurry up. What does she think I'm trying to do? Honestly. Anyway, I have noticed nothing gets cleaned properly in there. The cupboard top by the bed, always sticky with tea and juice stains. The first thing I do when I go in there is give it a good wipe, but if you drop a tissue or a comb, still on the floor the next day, or even longer.
They aren't given enough time to do it properly. Or there aren't enough of them. Probably a bit of both. And where do you work?
But I'm at that new call centre. Yeah, the one with the building and all the glass. Where the bingo hall used to be, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paid to talk all day. I wouldn't mind some of that.
Well, I work there, but I tell people I work there because I do, but I don't tell them what I do. You see, I'm one of the cleaners.
So? Everything needs cleaning. Look at, say, this bus. And we all know what that smell is. It's a bit late to be going to work now, isn't it? Well, to be honest, it's not something to boast about, is it, you know? First thing people ask, just like what you did, is, what do you do for a living? And that stops the conversation dead in its tracks. The call centre is open till late. Gone 10, so I feel sorry for them, really. I might clean the toilets, but at least I don't have to stick my hand up to go to the toilet. You know, I'm on zero hours, so they muck me around sometimes with the shifts. Anyway. I did it for years, and I loved it. Pay wasn't bad. Could fit around the kids. Given the amount of jobs I've had over the years, I enjoyed that one the most. Shut up! No, you're having me on, right? I mean, it's not funny, you know. That's why I don't tell people. We took pride in our job. We took pride in what we did. And there are plenty of women who wanted to work there, I can tell you. My mum's got, says Nan's been thrown up all night. She's really not strong enough for this now.
No, that's not good. At least she's got family. Many haven't. Thing is, we did more than clean. Kept an eye on the patients. Doctors were always in a rush. You know, older people think they're a burden. They would tell us their worries because they got used to seeing us every day. Or if they were struggling to eat, we would let the nurses know. Or do it ourselves. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, it needs to be more like that now. The things you hear and read about are so shocking. People not even given enough to drink. I keep such a close eye on my nan, or the third degree as she likes to call it.
What's shocking is that people put up with it. Like it's normal. But at least we had a go. Now, look how hard it is to find the cheapest return train ticket. So many different operators, you need a degree to work it out.
I know, it takes forever. So, what did you ever go at then?
We ended up on strike. The company we worked for had to bid for the contract they already had. How crazy is that? So, they made it the cheapest. By cutting everyone's hours, we knew straight away there would be no chance of keeping the hospital clean. There was a famous article about cockroaches in the baby's incubator. There's a big maternity unit then. Oh, that's my phone buzzing. It's a text from the hospital. Hang on. Closed to emergencies due to winter vomiting virus.
I really hope that's not what she's got.
Oh dear. I wish I could say at least she's in the best place. That winter bug is a new thing. Never heard of it years ago. Wasn't in schools when my three were young. And certainly never in a hospital. Well, that's my day wasted. I don't miss Tai Chi at the library.
And we've hardly moved. So you were telling me about the strike?
Well, we didn't have much choice then. One day we just get on with our lives, and the next day everything changed. They cut our rates and our hours, stopped sick pay, and reduced our holidays. They had no interest in the actual job we did, let alone how it affected the hygiene of the hospital.
So it made the papers then?
The papers? Only every day. It went on for over a year. I was even on the telly. Quite a bit, actually. Yeah. In fact, if you look hard enough, I'm on YouTube. Looking awful. Those poems we all had in the 80s looked so old-fashioned. But unfortunately, the things you can hear me say are very up-to-date. Look at you with your 0 hours contract. What's all that about? Talk about going backwards, and now junior doctors. They keep banging on about 7-day NHS. Why don't they sort out what we've got now?
And I have a right pervert for a supervisor. He tells really dirty jokes. None of them are funny. He just wants a reaction. Some girl complained to head office, you know. And we never saw her again. So you just put up with stuff. Keep your head down. So what did you do for a year then? That's such a long time.
We had our picket outside the hospital. We all did shifts. It was like going to work without getting paid. We had plenty of support. Yeah. I remember we had to take it in turns to wave at the cars that would beep as they went past. Otherwise you'd get armache. Complete strangers would turn up with food. And we were very glad they did, as it went on for so long.
Imagine. We learnt a bit in school about that women's strike at Ford's. Yeah. And I've seen the Barking Dagenham film.
Yeah. I think filmmakers like the miniskirt of the 1960s. But there's not much glamour in dirty overalls and bedpans.
So was there any trouble during that year?
What, are you undercover? Well, We did give them a bit of stick, shouting at scabs. It's what you did. And we thought we had a lot to shout about. Old Bill would turn up, of course. They did all right out of it. With all the overtime. Don't they always? Did seem a bit odd at first, shouting at strangers. Women who looked as ordinary as I did.
I'm going to guess you didn't win then.
No. Winning was impossible when you're not earning anything for a year. None of us could keep it up forever. But the new things we learned to do, speaking to the press, being interviewed on telly, spoke to public meetings, made our own banners and leaflets, loads of stuff I never dreamt I could do. When it was over, I went for interviews. I remember being told, as a cleaner, you have limited set of skills. One of them was May and Baker. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. No, you can't change everything. But never let that be an excuse never to try. I worked in a canteen at Plessy's in Ilford after that. Then for the council as a dinner lady. You all right? You've gone very quiet. Oh no, I do talk a lot once I get started. I'm so sorry. I'm so very sorry. You poor thing.
And blackout.